Hey, Shola here, and welcome back to Life on Film, brought to you by E17 Films in partnership with The Barbican. Today's episode is all about editing. We're going to go over the basics of editing using a smartphone and how you can get the best out of your footage. Let's get started. Keep it organised. This isn't so much an editing tip, but a way of preserving your sanity. When editing using your smartphone, you won't have the same processing power as you might have on a desktop or a laptop, so keeping your shots organised is key. When you start to edit, try and load up your clips in chronological order. This will save you time and energy when it comes to making cuts. Simplicity is your friend. Sometimes, editing a short film can feel like a mammoth task, and it can be difficult to navigate what feels like reams and reams of footage. One of the joys of smartphone filmmaking is that you're often forced to use simpler tools. So the editing apps that are available on phones are nowhere near as complicated as what you might have to use to cut a feature-length film. Most of the apps offer simple cutting tools and nice-looking transitions. So start off small and play around with the options until you start to really like the look and feel of your project. Don't forget, there's always the undo button. And like Bob Ross says, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Use B-roll. You might have heard the term B-roll being thrown around when people talk about editing. Essentially, B-roll refers to additional or supplementary footage that gets intercut with the main shot. That could mean things like cutaways, establishing shots, or insert shots. Not only does B-roll make your film look more interesting and give you more of a variety of shots, but you can actually use it to cover up little mistakes or awkward moments on camera. For example, if you shot an interview where the frame is slightly out of focus or the contributor isn't looking at the camera, then you can replace what's on screen with B-roll. So you can still get their great answer but with better visuals. Choosing the right app for editing. If you go to the App Store and type in video editing, chances are you'll be shown a whole bunch of different apps, both free and paid, that allow you to cut your film. It's important to consider your choices when it comes to finding the right app for you. Make sure to do your research and see what works for your device, because what might work well for an Apple user might not work well for an Android user. Also, before downloading any apps, make sure to check whether you'll be asked to pay for in-app purchases, as some apps advertise themselves as free, but will have locked tools and features you'll need to pay for.
And now, onto some top tips with me, Monday. A few local filmmakers and I have compiled a list of top tips to help you guys edit on a smartphone. Here they are.
Cutting. Always keep your cuts discreet. A successful edit always goes unnoticed by the audience. Try to re-watch your scenes and pick the best parts to switch perspectives. The same also applies to when editing music. Try to feel the rhythm of the sequence and cut along based on the beat or the actions on the screen in order to increase cohesiveness.
Number 2 is tempo. Now, slow-mo or fast-forward effects can be used to increase suspense or show the passage of time. The most epic build-ups are always in slow motion to make sure that the audience sees the beauty in the shot.
Number 3 is colour grading. Colour is a really important tool. It can completely change the way that the audience sees the shot and feel of your movie. Regular shots can look bland. Try spicing up your scenes with a colour grade filter. Remember, warm colours like oranges, reds and yellows can give a sense of happiness and lightheartedness, whereas cooler colours and darker colours, purples and blues, are better for a sort of sadder, darker scene.
Number 4 is music. Try to use music that fits the mood of your scene. And remember to keep the volumes at suitable levels so that you can still hear the characters when they're talking. Finally, make sure that the music fades in and out cleanly.
Number 5 is sound effects. Layer your sound effects at the right volume on the timeline and make sure that you place them at the right moment when the action is happening.
Number 6 is text. Captions can be used in the lower third for foreign languages or members of the audience with impaired hearing. Likewise, for titles and credits, make sure to select a font that aligns with the theme of your film.
Number 7 is in-app storytelling, and stories don't need to be longer than a minute. Nowadays, your video can be cut together with a range of mobile apps like iMovie, Adobe Rush, InShot, Fliptogram and Filmmaker Pro. You can then share these edits with your friends on social media platforms like Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Facebook. Number 8 is animation and graphics. Animation can be used to integrate additional characters into the story, and graphics can be used to visually represent ideas without having to add additional dialogue.
Number 9 is transitions. Cool transitions can be used to blend scenes together effectively. Likewise, fading between scenes can be an imaginative way to show time passing or different circumstances.
And number 10 is just have fun with it. Try some new things, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and enjoy the process. Honestly, don't overthink it.
We want to give a big thank you to everyone who helped us out with our top tips today, and a massive thank you to you for tuning into this episode of Life on Film.